Hello and welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in your corner of the world. China's top negotiator Liu He to visit Washington for Phase 1 trade war deal signing this week, the source says. As we get into the article, we see that Vice Premier Liu He is set to lead a delegation to Washington this Saturday, where he is expected to sign a Phase 1 deal that would significantly de-escalate the U.S.-China trade war. A source briefed on the matter has told the South China Morning Post Washington has sent an invitation and Beijing has accepted it, said the source, who declined to be named due to the highly sensitive nature of the information. The Chinese delegation is expected to stay a few days in the U.S. until the middle of next week, the source added. Neither side has officially confirmed the trip, and China's Ministry of Commerce was not immediately available for comment. The signing of a Phase 1 deal during Liu's trip would mark a point of truce in the bitter trade war between the world's two biggest economies, one that is expected to boost global markets and brighten increasingly gloomy outlooks for economic growth. In addition, it could help to ease bilateral tensions between China and the U.S., which in recent months have grown more fraught as U.S. lawmakers move to implement human rights and democracy legislation related to Hong Kong and Xinjiang. As U.S. President Donald Trump said before Christmas that he would ultimately have a signing ceremony with President Xi Jinping. We will have a signing ceremony, yes, Trump told reporters. We will ultimately, yes, when we get together, he told reporters in Florida. The U.S. Trade Representative USTR Robert Lighthizer said on December 13 that officials from both countries would sign the Phase 1 trade deal in the first week of January. Wanted to go into and discuss Cambodia's central bank to introduce blockchains in the payment system. A new report published by the World Economic Forum has indicated that the National Bank of Cambodia will be the world's first central bank to use blockchain technology in its payment systems, with a time frame for implementation set for this year. That's all I wanted to pull out of the article to connect to the rest of my story. The BOJ rules out digital fiat, but Cambodia could issue a CBDC next year. Next article, which I find important, Cambodia to adopt blockchain tech in national payments system this year. Also, Landquist mentioned the National Bank of Cambodia that plans to incorporate blockchain technology for its national payments system by the end of this year. As Landquist's report notes, the bank is looking to tackle two issues. Many of the nation's residents are underbanked or unbanked entirely, and the banking system itself is not very efficient, she explained. They currently have a very fragmented domestic payment system, and many residents are unbanked. Instead of using the bank, they use private payment apps that don't even use the bank, so they sometimes can't pay each other. Landquist added that the new blockchain-based payment system may serve to unite some of these disparate payment apps, providing more efficient payment and settlement services to Cambodia's residents. Now, to me, the most important part of this article is the last paragraph, which I'll read now. What's perhaps most surprising about Cambodia's plans is the fact that the bank is not going to start with a pilot program, but rather a large-scale deployment with 10 banks. As we read in the articles, the discussion is possibly starting this year. And we read here in this article where they say it's not going to be a pilot program, but rather a large-scale deployment. And it seems the media is projecting it to begin this year. But when you come to our Twitter page, we have information from the BIS discussing Cambodia already using CBDCs. It's a short 27-second video. We're going to play that right now.
I have another question from Marla Dukaran, who's a chief economist for BIT, with 2 T's. How long do you think it will take for central bank digital currencies to become mainstream, and why?
It can be very fast. As a matter of fact, in Cambodia, they're already experimenting in real life with CBDCs.
Cambodia.
In Cambodia.
Right.
So now that you've heard directly from the BIS that it's not coming, it's here. And that has been said recently. It's here. So let's go back and finish this video with the last paragraph. What's perhaps most surprising about Cambodia's plans is the fact that the bank is not going to start with a pilot program, but rather a large-scale deployment with 10 banks. And as you've heard directly from the BIS, it's here. They're already using CBDCs. Connect that back to this statement that it will not be a pilot program, but rather a large-scale deployment. And this is very exciting, knowing that we're beginning the new year here in the USA, beginning January 1st for our 2020 New Year, knowing that China will also be starting their negotiations allegedly the first week of January, and knowing that many news outlets have promoted as China will begin this exciting new era of digital assets. Again, remember, we are here for entertainment purposes only, not for financial advice. But we love you guys, and thank you so much for your support of this channel. Wishing you the best of nights, morning and afternoon, wherever you are. Until the next one.